Well, let's just continue a little bit. Got a little wet back there and shut off the camera. But I'm back. This is part 2, continuation here on the coast. First day of geography class, right? So let's take a look at some of these barnacles again. They're all living. This is all life. They're not dead. You shouldn't walk on them. There's a limit to what you can harvest. Look at the rock though. This is metamorphic rock. You can definitely tell that. Here comes the water again. I hate wet boots, especially when they're like leather. They're not made for water too much. Anyways, metamorphic rock, highly weathered by water and wind. This is metamorphic as heat-formed rock, as you might guess. And you can definitely see that in everything we're looking at right here. That's much of the American Northwest. Much of the American West is this way. Very different than the rich farmlands of the Midwest that are sedimentary rock, soils and stone and other things. A lot of sandstone, things like that in the Midwest. This is definitely different. Yeah, the tide's coming in. That's pretty obvious. We can see that here. Water's pretty cold too. Probably about 49 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 50 this time of year. It doesn't get much warmer or cooler in the winter or summer, the water temperature. That's Cape Meares. That cape right there that juts out into the ocean. There's a lighthouse on the top of it if we were to go up there. We don't find seashells very much in cold coast areas. This is definitely a cold coast. This is a place where shell life is further out, and different kinds of shell life, different than say the Gulf of Mexico or say Florida at all. It's going to be very different sea life that live here in this part of the world. Oh, I think I'm going to get wet if I don't get out of here. So those of you in world geography, you're going to be looking at major world regions. We'll talk about what a region is in a little bit next time. We're going to be looking at Europe, the Middle East. We'll look at Africa, India, Asia, Australia, South Pacific a little bit. Probably won't look at North America in world geography. That's your glimpses of it will be here through the lens of my phone as it is. Anyhow, if you're in my Geography of Europe class or one of my other regional classes, obviously that's a focus area that I don't have to explain to you too much. But everything's relevant in learning about places. And here we have a very dynamic landscape, right? We have an active landscape with the coast of Oregon, the Coast Range Mountains, volcanic bedrock and volcanic extrusions on the coast, maritime climate, temperate rainforest, lots of cool things here to look at. It's one of my favorite places in the US. So let's just keep walking a little bit more here. Yeah, the seagulls found a pretty good breakfast here. Dungeness crab has a lot of meat on it compared to other types of shellfish. It's one of the most commercially successful. It's marketed in California, all over the West Coast, and most of it comes from this area. And I think the seagulls found a pretty good place for having a snack. You think we should climb on those rocks up there? Well, give it a try. Let's see. I've only been teaching geography since 1987, so I'm a little more cautious about places than I used to be. But we'll see over here. This doesn't look too bad. You just don't want to get trapped by water anywhere. Well, the tide is coming in. We can see that. Sometimes I find starfish, or sea stars as we now call them, in this part of the coast. Maybe I'll see if I can find one up here. You know, just going up about 10 feet or so, maybe 15, gives you a completely different view of things. It's just amazing what you can see when you change your perspective on stuff. I did see some live crabs hiding here. They're hiding pretty well. I would too if I was a crab around all these seagulls. Didn't find any sea stars. They're usually purple in color out here, sometimes orange. Maybe we'll try another spot for some tide pools later. Tide pools are better. This isn't really a tide pool area here. The water hasn't pulled from the tides. I just got to keep an eye on it as it's coming in.